So I think, after all the stuff I've heard over the last 5 or 6 years, I've never heard no one, you heard of the common law, but no one has ever said, how do you get there? They always just talk about it, mention it.
Right, because what they do is English common law, and I just do the basic common law, like, see, L-O-R-E is common law, and not L-A-W. That's the legal society's way of spelling the word law.
How do you spell it? How did you spell law in the common way?
L-O-R-E. If you Google L-O-R-E, it'll just say the traditions, practices, and customs of a people.
Oh, common law. Okay, common. Okay.
Right, it's not common law. It's all folklore.
Right. Okay, I got you.
A lot of people call it folklore. But it's
right.
It's what everybody knows. Everybody knows you can't steal. I don't care. Everybody knows. Everybody knows you can't cheat. Everybody knows. Everybody knows these very simple, basic concepts. I don't care where in the universe you go. Everybody understands this. I don't care where in Vulcan. You take away a Vulcan kid, they're going to go nuts.
Right.
Well, it's in the best interest of the kid. They're going to kill you. You don't take something away that belongs to somebody else. You just don't do it. But they're going to take a piece of paper and convince you that they can do it. It's like, I don't care, how would you like some Vulcan comes here and grabs your kid and walks off with it? It's like, well, we're doing it in the best interest of your child. Here's a piece of paper and we're gone. You're like, get up.
Right.
Dude, you better take your hands off my kid before I kill you.
Right.
We're the great Vulcans and we're better than you. Look at us. We're green and we're so much better than you. We're so much smarter. We're doing what's in the best interest of your kid. It's like, yeah, right. You drop your green hands off my kid, man. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your piece of paper says. You touch what belongs to me, you had a bad day. It's that simple,
right.
And the legal society makes it seem that it's okay for them to do it. I guess because they're not green, I guess they think they can get away with it.
Right. Exactly.
But to me, it's still mine. You better take your hands off it, and I mean now. And until people start getting back into, I'm just trying to get people back into that mindset. That's mine, and take your damn hands off it. It's that simple.
That's simple. You're right.
Right, and I'm not making it complicated. I won't do it. I won't do it. I will not go there. I will not trick people into thinking it's more complicated than that. And I'm telling you, in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when this takes off on YouTube and people start learning it, they're going to say, Karl Lentz who? Oh, they're going to say, what? Somebody had to explain to you to say that's mine, take your hands off it, that's mine, give it back? What do you mean? Somebody had to teach you, Daddy, how to say that? Oh, come on now. Oh, yeah, there's this real smart guy named Karl Lentz, and he taught us, they'll say, oh, Dad, please. I'm 3 years old, and I knew how to do that. I'm not going to be, it's funny, what I'm passing on, if it catches on, people are not even going to remember who is because it comes so naturally and it comes so simply to everything on planet Earth. They're going to say, there's no way some guy had to explain this to you. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
A caveman would understand. It was funny. I wish some guy called me up again, man. Some black guy called me up, and he went back to his motherland or homeland or whatever they call it over there in Africa. And he said he went to the village where he came from. He said they had no books or no radio, no electricity. He just wanted to go visit his people. And he said, when I walked into that tribe and I walked into that village and I started talking to him, to a translator, he said, man, it looked like I was walking into a tribe of Karl Lentzes. He said, everybody sounded just like you. I said,
wow.
I said, that's right. I said, because I'm teaching you stuff like my dad. He couldn't read or write. He didn't learn nothing from no book. He just learned things from his dad, that's my dad taught me. He said, I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing you. He says, but this is what my daddy did, and he said his daddy did it, and I'm sure his daddy did it. He says, I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I'm teaching what I'm teaching it, but he said, all I know is this is my job and this is what I got to do. Nothing personal, kid. But he's like, I got to beat the shit out of you to put the knowledge in you. So it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, Daddy beat the shit out of me. That's right, because you had to pound knowledge in. The shit had to go somewhere, so it had to come out.
Right. Right.
So.
Well, that's great. I thank you for it, man, passing it on. Because, like I said, I've heard a lot of things, and this made the most sense out of it. All the UCC stuff and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because like I said, I'll give you an even better example. because I could tell you from the MLK area. It's funny, man. They wouldn't have, Disney pulled some movie called The Song of the South.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever hear about that, the movie Song of the South?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, well, it was about this young boy who his daddy was so this young white boy whose daddy was so damn busy trying to become successful up in Atlanta, like during the Civil War time, that he didn't have time to take care of his own kid. And then his mom was so busy, just running the house, that he was basically on his own most of the time, the boy. So the boy, I believe how the movie went, I'm not sure, I know the book goes, the boy had a dog, and mom didn't want the dog in the house, so the mom threw the dog out, and the kid wanted to run away. So he ran into the woods, and he stumbled into some black man named Uncle Remus, an old white-haired black man named Uncle Remus. And he was just watching this old black man, and he thought he was hiding real good. And the old black man saw the boy, but didn't come towards the boy, scare the boy off or nothing. He just started talking to his animals that he was tending to, Uncle Remus tended to. And he was talking to animals and saying, you know what, I bet your mother would, like a puppy or a kitten. It's like, I bet your mama really misses your kitten. I bet, it'd be a good idea if you went back to your mama. I bet she's looking for you high and low, and I bet she's crying. I bet she's got apple pie waiting for you. So, the white boy went home eventually. But then the white boy liked watching this old man by himself on his little farm, so he kept watching the old man, through the woods. And then he had a little white girl, his little girlfriend or whatever, would listen to this old man talk to the animals. The old man knew these kids were there. So he was passing down, like, stories through his animals to the kids, to the white kids. And what was funny is he was teaching them some very wise ways of looking at the world and wise ways of acting, And he was teaching the kids. He was raising the white kids, Neighborhood white kids were being reared by his stories because the white man was too busy working in Atlanta, and the mama was too busy worrying about keeping up appearances at home. Nobody had time for the kids.
Right.
So Disney pulled the movies. They had a whole bunch of black folks say, this is racist. I said, racist? I said, this is showing you that white people are too damn busy acquiring stuff and worrying about what the hell their house looks like. And these white kids are actually learning practical skill, knowledge, survival skills from an old black man. Oh, no, we can't have that. Why not? To me, it looked ridiculous. I actually had black folks saying that that's a racist movie. It's like, what? It's like, oh, that makes the black guy look stupid. No, it looks like he looks like the other Kaz. And he's talking in single-syllable words like me. I talk very simple, very plain, and I make it so a 3-year-old can understand me. Now, I could be Uncle Remus of the white world. That's fine. I don't care, because I'm passing down this knowledge in the simple form as possible to have the younger people learn how to survive what they're up against when they walk out into the world. So, like I said, it's amazing, and I had a lot of people, I buy that book and read the book, and they're like, holy cow, there's a newspaper, like a editor or publisher, back in the 1800s who wrote a whole series of these books. And it taught a lot. And all it is the older folks like me teaching the younger folks, basic practical skills. And this is what we're looking at when we walk out that door into the public. And when you walk into the public, you have to act like a man. And like I said, you have 3 lives. You got your public life, you got your private life, and you got your secret life. But when you walk out that door, you better know how to act like a man. And when you walk into that courtroom, you better know how to act as a man. You better know how to act as a man. If you don't, we're going to teach you how to act. And we're going to pull the strings, and you're going to act this way from now on. So that's all I'm trying to do. So it's funny. I mean, I can't believe that people don't know it as simply as I do, but like I said, I got lucky, and I had a dad who was like an Uncle Remus who couldn't read or write English.
Right.
But he just knew what he knew because he knew from what he was taught from older people before him. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just passing this stuff on. And I can't believe how popular it's getting. I thought everybody knew this stuff. When I hear people tell me they don't know this stuff, I go, you got to be kidding me. How don't you know this? I've known this since I was a little kid. Maybe I don't know all the ins and outs of how to write a certain piece of paper in court. That I learned. But how to talk and act like a man, and, you think you're my daddy? I don't care what uniform you got. I don't care what that piece of paper, like my dad would say. somebody tried to throw a piece of paper in front of his face, he'd say, you know, he couldn't read or write, but he didn't let them know that. I'd say, I don't care what that says. What, did you write that? No, I didn't write it. No, what the hell do I care what it says? You know what it says? Yeah, well, that's goody for you. I don't know what it says. You didn't write it. I didn't write it. You didn't write it. You know, why don't you get the man down here who wrote it? Tell me that, you know, somehow I'm bound to that piece of paper. Show me. You know, it's like, well, I'm just the guy's messenger. I'm just a cop. I'm just a messenger. I don't give a damn. You bring that man down here, says I've done something wrong, and then we'll talk. Well, the commissioner says, or the county says, yeah, well, I never met that man. I said, you tell that man, come on down here, and you tell him I've done something wrong, and then we'll talk. So that's all I'm doing, teaching you guys. That's basic, simple stuff. I made a whole bunch of videos last weekend. So I'll try to send you some sort of a link when you send me that way. Because I'm trying to make my stuff simpler and simpler. And like I said, even the man in England, when he was on my show, he told me, he said he was starting to talk in court and move the court and act in court. And he said the judge stopped him right in the middle of the sentence, and the judge said, sir, I think you're trying to evoke the common law, like conjure it up, like call it up. You know, I think you're trying to rely on the law. And he said, you know, like, yes, Your Honor. And he said, well, let me give you one big hint. Keep it to one-syllable words. Make it simple, like me, Tarzan, you, Jane, steal, bone, give back, bone. Just keep it simple, son. Because if you try to talk like a lawyer, you know, you're going to lose control. You're going to go over into the legal land, and you're going to get into a whole bunch of trouble that you can't only imagine. But the judge just said to him, keep it simple, keep it. The judge said to him, literally, on my show, the guy said, the judge said, I see what you're doing. You're trying to evoke common law. Let me give you a hint. Keep it to one-syllable words. And that's what I tell people. Keep it simple, keep it plain.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. No A+ star from the English teacher. If she sees that lawsuit, she's going to give you an F. She's going to say there's no consistency here. There's no periods. There's no flow. There's no creative words. There's no adjectives. This is boring. This is a third grader can write this. It's like, yep. And everybody can understand it. That's right. It's like, well, there's no, creativity here. Good. It's just black and white. That's mine. Give it back.